So have you heard of Subbuteo? It's a tabletop football game which was first invented by Peter Adolf in England in the mid-1940s. You flick to kick, as you can see here, and here's an example of a free kick, which by the use of VAR we can see my brother scored. His Italy beat my Spain 2-1. Now, I hadn't played this in about 20 years before I had a go this summer, and I thought I'd get my own set, but I also discovered that you can buy these blank kits. This one is made by a company in Yorkshire called Santiago. My son wanted me to make Ukraine, which is why I've chosen the yellow bases. You can see the goalkeeper, it's described as crouching. Put that into the long arm piece like so. You can also see how it's slightly different to the traditional Subbuteo keeper. So, here I are, going to make a Ukraine team. Now here's a finished example. I'll show you how I got to that. Now you could prime it in white, but I've chosen not to. First thing, I'm sanding away the mould mark on the back of the shorts and also trimming the little bit of excess plastic at the bottom of the base. There's a few mould seams around the sleeves and the head. And I'm painting this using some Tamiya Lemon Yellow X8. Now this has a gloss finish, which should look okay for the shirts. I'm using quite a thin brush. This is actually a Humbrol brush. And there we are. All the kit is yellow. So I'm just doing short sleeves, shorts and the socks. Now once that has cured, I'll come back to it with the colour. Now for the keeper, I've gone with the red kit here. They also use a green kit, but I already have some green goalkeepers, so I thought red's a bit different. And this time I'm using Revell acrylic. This is their red matte. And this time I'm giving long sleeves, and also I'm leaving the gloves on the hands white. There we are. Now I'm using this Vallejo Air Pale Flesh, and it's Air Vallejo, so it's already thinned. So I'm just going to shake it up and then squirt a bit on this masking tape so that I don't have too much on the brush because it can pool quite badly. This is quite a light skin tone, but there are other skin tones, of course, you can get. Browns, tans, things like that. Tamiya do a flesh colour which is slightly darker than this as well. But obviously you'll want to do the skin colours that best represent the team that you are making. After that, and then doing these boots in a little bit of black. Did think about leaving them white, as I think white boots are probably more common than black boots in today's football. I've always been a fan of the all black boots. And then a little bit of black for the hair as well. Here I'm using a bit of Revell Satin Black. Obviously, as I'm doing this myself, I can do the hair a variety of different colours, blacks, browns, oranges, yellows, that sort of thing. Now doing these boots in black as well. And the hair to finish it off. Then a bit of green on the base here. This is Revell green to match it to the base it goes into, like so. Now then I'm using a very fine brush. This one has 10/0 on it with a bit of Tamiya Sky Blue for the rings around the sleeves and the collar. Now this is very, very fine work. Make sure that the yellow paint is fully cured before doing anything like this. And there we are, pretty happy with that. Now I'm using these tweezers to help put it into the base, as I don't want to get my fingers all over the paintwork I've just done. And there we are, that is a basic figure. But the next step is to make it even more personalised. You see, I have printed out some of my own decals. These are on transparent decal paper, so I've got numbers to go on the back. There we are, that's number 7. And then I've also got a little Ukrainian trident badge to go on the front of the shirt, like so. Now, if you want to find out how I did this, click the link above. You can see my custom decal tutorial there. This works best with pale kits, but you can see here some of them I've printed off for a few different teams. These are the ones that I did for the Brazil team. Now, this is an original Subbuteo Brazil team from about 8 years ago. It's a Hasbro licensed kit, and I've done these numbers in a kind of blocky font in green. I measured them to be about 4mm tall, and then put down a little bit of decal solution before affixing the decals to the back. And there you are, number 2. Maybe that's Cafu or some other legendary right back from the Brazil side. Now again, I can do that with this England team. Now I bought this Euro 96 set online, which comes with these really nicely detailed England 1996 shirts, and so I did some blue numbers for these. Now with the decals, I put them in the water for about 5 seconds. These are very small and you don't want the ink to run. Then remove them from the water and let them settle on the tissue paper. Again, put down a little bit of decal solution. This is micro set. And then affix the decal to the back, just pushing it down gently. These decals have all been clear coated with some Halford's lacquer. That should stop the ink from running, but always be careful with them. And there we are. These are the default teams you get with a lot of Subbuteo sets. I'm going to show you how I customised them. Firstly, I turned the blue team into France. You can see I've already painted the socks in red, but then I went over the shirts again, which had worn out a little bit, with a bit more of that Tamiya light blue. That covered over the edges and things like that. I then redid some of the hair. I also changed the ethnicity of some of these players by using a bit of brown paint on the skin. Alternatively, you can use Sharpie. However, I don't think it's quite as resilient as the paint is. Now you can see the number on the back. I'll show you how I did this in a moment using this Italy side. Now this came with the Brazil side. It's a Hasbro tooling. You can see there on the side. It says Hasbro 09, unlike these older ones which say Subbuteo on them. And to do the numbers on the back, I used this Posca paint pen. This is a thin nib. Give it a shake before using. And then you can see you can draw in white ink really nicely. That gives you some really simple and effective numbers. Now I'll show you what I did with the red team. I turned them into Spain. Now Spain, famous for the red shirts, however they wear blue shorts. So I used Revell 350 blue for this. Then once adding that detail, I then wanted to add some yellow to other bits. So I used this Posca paint pen to do the yellow stripes down the sleeves. Could use a thinner nib, but I found that this worked okay if I did it on the side. Then did the number on the back, again using the white. And finally used a bit of yellow on the side of cocktail stick to do the stripe on the shorts. And there we have a Spain team. I also swapped the bases for these lightweight ones, just thought they looked a bit better. Now finally, this default red team, which could be Switzerland. Now you can get these old number sets like these. This one did actually come with some of these. However, if you can't get some of those, as I said before, these Posca paint pens are really readily available. I actually got this from Hobbycraft, which is a general hobby shop in the UK. I'm sure you can get them online as well. And I added a little badge to the front as well. Now with the Santiago set, you also get this little presentation box. I'm just going to show you how I put that together. This goes together really nicely and doesn't need any glue. That's the lid. So as you can see, you bend those corners in, sides up and the ends go around all of that. That all pins into place, and then the other side. You've got these little cardboard slots where the players will go. And then there's your team. These teams are famously fragile, so having these boxes should hopefully protect them. And then I'll just use these Sharpies to do a little flag and the name of the team on the outside. So there we are, something very different from me today. But let me know down below if you ever played this. Also like to know, did any of you ever play Subbuteo, cricket or rugby? The rugby game seems very complicated to me. Thanks a lot for watching. Let me know what you think. Have you ever played this? I'll see you soon.